Got to be the most like laissez-faire podcast setup.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're going for.
I like it.
Thanks to Lindsey and Associates, the Coaches Pod is on location in Gulf Shores, Alabama, with former Razorback and current Detroit Lion Dan Skipper. Presented by C.R. Crawford Construction. Dan, so you guys had an unbelievable season this year. Go ahead, talk on that a little bit.
It was, a lot of fun. It's hard. The season is so long.
Yeah.
That to like end up coming in short, and you're just like, it's mind blowing. Like it just ends, So you got OTAs, and you're, 10 weeks getting after it, and then you leave training camp. Feels like it's never going to end.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting in New York doing joint practices. Don't know if you're any good or not. Then you're just in the season, and you look up and it's week 16 and you're in the 1 seed and playing Buffalo. Like it's just the whole thing. Like, it's crazy how it's there, it rolls, it's done.
Mm-hmm.
So
do you think that y'all expected the success that y'all had this year?
Yeah, I mean, that was the goal. 2 years ago, making it to the NFC Championship game, I don't know if we expected that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was just one of those get hot at the right time, be rolling. But last year was expected to be the number 1 seed, host a bunch of games at home, and win it all. Like that was the expectation. Get the 1 seed, get the bye, host the home playoff game, play a bad game at the wrong time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the nature of the business. So,
and you've had some time now to decompress, I guess, from season.
Mm-hmm.
What's that like? I guess having the success, expecting it, getting there, and then falling short there right at the end.
It's defeating on a multitude of levels. Obviously, you've got the in the moment, what just happened, and then you start seeing the fallout of coaches leaving, players leaving. I'm a free agent again. It just starts spinning, and so it's very, those rooms will never be the same again. From a players, coaching staffs, at least in college, at least back in our day, you used to have a little bit of continuity of okay, who you're getting back 75% of the guys. Where in the league, it's there may be a whole roster turnover. You don't know. Coaching staff, same thing. So
it's so interesting because with the NFL, it's trickling down into college. You just touched on it a little bit. It's not the same that it was when we were there. I mean, you look at our offensive lines, and you had Papa Travis, and we all followed his lead for 4 years, and then he brought us along.
Yeah.
And now it's not like that. I guess, what is the next step then for you, for the Lions, for you? You mentioned free agency. What does this next year look like? Yeah,
just waiting and seeing what happens. I think free agency opens tomorrow, the tampering period. Agent will come with me with, the offers that are presented. It's nice to be in a situation this year where I think I'm going to have a few offers and get to choose instead of just begging for someone to let me in the door.
Sure. and you've been at that spot, right?
Oh, I've spent most of my time in that spot.
Yeah. Talk on that a little bit. What's the expectation when you're in that practice squad role, and you're kind of waiting on that opportunity? What does your day-to-day look like in season?
So practice squad is, you do everything that everyone does, but play in the games. Some teams will have, a little different Saturday schedule for a Sunday game, but, you're expected to play. Someone gets hurt, Thursday practice. Okay, you went from the P squad tackle to now you're the swing tackle. And so weird things happen all the time. And I'll take it back to, 2 years ago, I had just gotten cut in Indy, came back here, working out, get a call on, I think it was Monday night from Detroit. Hey, we need you to fly out ASAP. I think it called Monday at 3, and they're trying to get me on a flight that night. Can't get it done in Pensacola.
Sure, yeah.
Sorry, this is a tough place to get in and out of. So we have Tuesday off. Great, fly out. Tuesday morning, get in, practice Wednesday, all the way through, play on Sunday.
That is wild.
So it's when your number's called, you have to be ready. And in that game, I played, the tackle got hurt mid-second quarter, broke his ankle.
Yeah.
And I'm not starting, but now I'm, playing. Yeah. Got to be ready. Ended up grade 2 hamstring pull that game.
Oh, wow.
So didn't finish it, but, it was just one of those deals. So, but.
So when you get that phone call and say, hey, we need you here tonight, we got practice, and you're rolling. Yeah. Where's the playbook fall into that? I mean, do you just got to understand, you got to get it and go, and you know what you're doing?
I mean, I think my system at least is there's only so many plays in football, right? Like,
Call it what
yeah,
want.
you can wrinkle it however you want, but there's only so many plays, so many formations, so many pass concepts. Like, everyone's the new genius. Like, yeah, it's how they put the icing on top. But like, at the end of the day, you have tight zone, you have wide zone, you have gap scheme, you have powers. Like, there's not that much you can do. So when I get there, the first thing I do is go in it for the calls, learn the offensive line calls. Because if it doesn't matter if we're running cards or we're good on good or developmental period, if I say, hey, what do we have? And he goes, deuce. And I know that a deuce is working with him to the will. I'm like, oh, it must be a gap scheme, right? And so if you've got your calls figured out, you can get through practice. And then from there, it's the mad dash of note cards. So, I'll walk in and grab, the 200 stack of note cards and just start writing. This play is, protections, and just start. And that's kind of
Studying.
figure out the families, figure out, typically an offense makes sense as to their thought process of like where and what they're coming from. So it's what are the tag words that mean something. Offenses, in my opinion, that have a lot of success are very well organized and all have a family and a reason for their naming systems. So for those of you that don't understand the like naming systems, and some teams will run numbers. Hey, we're going to go a 37 boss or lead or stretch, but it's all 37. So, okay, we know the ball's going outside the left. Boss, okay, the back's on the strong safety. Lead could say, hey, that's, that fullback's not going to the mic. You could have, what I'm saying. There's a million different ways to name it, but the variation of runs, how you're getting from huddle call to understanding is just a mad dash of note cards, find the family, figure out their thought process in the naming system, and then go from there.
Yeah.
So
once you kind of have it, you basically know what's going on. It's just kind of dicing through it.
Yeah. And so like that first week is a beast, no matter how you,
sure.
Right? 'Cause you got a new locker room. You don't really know your coaches a lot of times. Trying to figure out where the meal hall is. Oh, and you've got to play NFL football.
That too.
Yeah.
And I guess, I mean, you've got your kids and your wife, and how do they play into that too? I mean, you get the phone call, you're moving across the country tomorrow.
So typically they'll stay back for a little bit. When you don't know the job security of the situation, I wait with them typically. So, it'll be a month or so, figure out the area. A lot of times in these cities, you don't really know any, where you want to live, what all that takes time. So start figuring that side of things out. But then, if we get a long weekend or something like that, you can stretch 2 or 3 days off, play maybe a Thursday game, pop back through, see them, kind of refresh, and maybe that resets your month timeline.
I mean, it truly is. You look at NFL football and you think, the football side of it, you don't think of it as an actual, like, it's a job. I mean, you're on a business trip now. You're okay. Well, we're going across the country tomorrow. I mean, that's a wild part of it. And I think, to me, that's kind of what is happening to college football. We do have a lot of coaches on the show and talking to the NIL stuff. And that's one thing, man, we missed NIL. We missed the chaos of the transfer portal, which is probably a good thing. But I think we could have made some money back in the day.
No doubt. Yeah, the money would have been.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not going to say any names, but there are a couple undrafted rookies last year that came in making because we get them all up in OTAs, training camp. Who are you? School signing bonus. And then this year we added, how much did you make in NIL?
Oh, wow.
Kids spouting out, 300, 400, yada, 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 2.2.
That's crazy.
And I think there were 3 or 4 kids in the, $400,000 to $600,000 range who weren't even on P squad at the end of it.
That's insane.
You're making $500,000 in college and you're not one of the best, 53 plus 16 times 32 plus IR guy. You start looking at some of those numbers and it's like,
wow.
So I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of I don't know if we're getting into the, NIL portal deal, whatever. It's a disaster. And I think it's bad for the game. And I think you're just killing the development on a lot of these kids. you know, maybe not football wise, but certainly social wise.
That's been the biggest takeaway I've had from this podcast. Coaches all say the same thing. I mean, when you're not there, and you think about us, when we had, that offensive line we had for 4, 5 years, and the growth that happens, and I keep on going back to Travis. Like, you have Travis kind of setting the example, and we're following his lead. And when you're bouncing around like that and you don't have that, it's a big deal.
No, and I got curious one night, and I looked back at the draft class last year for the O-line, and there was like, see, now my numbers are all foggy, but like 20 something guys drafted, and of those drafted, I think like 20 of them didn't transfer. They'd all stayed put. And a lot of them, and of those guys, like 3 of them transferred home, like they were at, I don't even know, and then said, oh, we're going to go back to Utah or back to Oklahoma, a couple things like that. And then, but yeah, very few of the like, oh, I'm at SEC school and I'm going to transfer to the other SEC school.
Yeah. Shouldn't work out.
It's just bad for ball.
That's crazy. That's what the game's become. And I think that, I don't know what's going to happen. I think something's going to happen.
Yeah, it has to.
It has to happen. Yeah.
I just want to know where's all this money coming from?
Yeah. Yeah. The numbers and the stories that I've heard are insane.
Yeah. Some of the quarterback stuff is like,
yeah.
I mean, guys legitimately taking pay cuts, and not small pay cuts, to play in the NFL.
College football, amateurism, it's nuts.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a top 10 college quarterback, it's, several million. Like it,
I can imagine.
Not all, like, I don't know. You take your top 10 quarterbacks every year. Say they're each getting, I don't know, $2 million for round numbers sake. All right, so there's $20 million in those kids. Of those 10, maybe 1 or 2 of them are any good in the league.
Yeah.
There will be 4 or 5 that float around and P squad their way through it if they're smart enough, or have a trait or something of that nature. But you go from $2 million at 19, 20 years old to, oh, now you're gonna go sell insurance. Like, are we really doing these kids a favor? Which, like, yeah, that money's great, get them started, but like, you go from that to not. I'll just be curious to see how that plays out over the next 20 years of their life. And hopefully these schools have institutions in place to help these guys out, because I know if I had any sort of cash in college, it wouldn't have been good for me.
It's a dangerous ball game. It's a good thing we were broke.
Yeah, I mean, we'd make $100 working security. And
yeah.
We thought we were high on the hog. Go to Goodwill, buy a Lazy Boy, throw it in the bed of a truck.
Yes, living the life, man.
Cooler beer, I mean, you're good to go.
Yep, all day. Doing security, gosh, the amp.
Yeah,
I mean, I forget about those days. George's, the amp, running around.
Yep,
Flashlights, kicking people out of the amp. That's wild.
Smoking Barrel.
Yeah, so you worked there for a while.
That's how they closed. That was tough.
They did close recently. Man, Fayetteville's changed.
Yeah.
It's all Northwest Arkansas. That's crazy.
It's part of growth, I guess.
Yeah, no, it is a good thing.
Good and bad. It's
we'll take it. It's changing. It's exciting.
It's changing, growing, influx of capital, and
yeah. Hopefully, some of that capital reaches the old hogs. Get some more NIL rolling. It's been wild to follow that too. Just all the collectives, and I've heard stories of collectives recruiting for other schools, and what we're able to pay our kids and what kids are asking for too. Coach Pittman came on and he's talking about some of those kids asking for stupid numbers, and maybe we'll get them somewhere.
I've heard some of those numbers, and I'm like, when you see it, we saw it last year. Kid made $500,000 in college, could not play a lick of football.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, you can't develop, like, football. It's not basketball. Like football, you get better playing next to people consistently.
100%.
Right? You go from, fall camp, play all fall next to someone, spring ball, you do all summer workout. Like, you start, like, and feel where these guys are, and where each other's at. And you just, you're just fall camp, see you later, fall camp, see you later. Like,
not it.
It's just not how you get better at this game. I don't.
Yeah.
And maybe there's guys that are genetically better, and that's fine. Those guys are more power to them. But for a lot of us, it's like, it's just work. And
the relationships are, like you said, are extremely important in that aspect. Makes you a better football team and makes you better. But also, it's why you do really anything, right? I mean, without the relationships, obviously there's the money part of it, but without the relationships, it's really
Yeah, and I think we all have, reasons for playing.
Mm.
And I think those reasons probably change over time as people change over time. It's I think when you're knee high to a grasshopper, you play because you love to hit someone.
Mhm.
Like if that's not why you started playing football, like
Yeah.
I don't know that you're in it for the
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
like that was my I want to hit someone. And then it changed. Oh, I want to play on Friday nights, I want to be a varsity player.
Mhm.
And then it was, play on Saturdays. Get a couple offers. Oh, I want to play in the SEC. Like all these goals and dreams change, and then I don't know. But football is just if you're in it for the money at 18, 19. I don't know. I'm
Might not
30
work
and I
out.
still love the game. The money's great. I wouldn't play for free. Let's get that clear.
Sure. Yeah. Anybody listening, we're not.
Let's get that clear. I'm not playing for
contract.
free. But at the same point, like you have to love the misery of it.
Mhm.
There's nothing fun about getting in this yard and pushing a prowler on this thing when it's 100 degrees with 90% humidity. That is horrible. But I know I need to do it to be ready. There's nothing fun about squatting 500-600 pounds once a week all year long. Like that's what it takes. So like I don't know. I just
You got to embrace the suck a little bit.
absolutely.
Embrace the suck.
Yeah. But then like people ask like, oh, why have you never really, tried drugs? Like it's never been something I'm interested in. And I was like, because the feeling you get after putting everything you have on the line for 4 hours and it comes down like the Green Bay game,
Yeah.
right? This past year, like everything you have on the line, one last play, fourth and a healthy one. Maybe it was 3, whatever it was. I don't know. Fourth and however long. And that one play seals the game, and I think we played 70 something snaps. I'm cramping up already. But you get that first down, seal that game like that, like high, I guess. Like you can't beat that. It's indescribable just how it's 70,000 people going nuts.
Yeah.
You just, took the will away from a man. They know it's over. You know it's over. Like it's just done.
Yeah.
Like you can't replicate that anywhere else. That's
the beauty of football, baby. That's it.
like, were you there in the 4 overtime game against Auburn? Were you there that year? Or was that?
No, I was not there.
Okay.
Was that 2015?
I don't know. They all run together.
Yeah,
Was that
they
home?
all run together. I don't think it was.
I'm trying to think. What was a good one? I don't know. Like running out of the tunnel.
Around the tunnel.
The one that sticks out to me is A&M at home, Johnny football night game.
Yeah.
Like that one.
Yeah,
that one
nuts.
sticks out.
Yep. Dietrich Wise went off that game. Yeah, I remember that game.
Yeah. Like that's the type of there's nowhere else in life you can get it.
No.
That's not why you're playing football. Like, what do you like?
You're absolutely right. I think about, we were talking earlier today about the loudest places you've ever played and things like that. And I think about my freshman year, we were number 3 in the country, I think. Bama was 1, and I'm an 18-year-old kid, and Petrino's probably sitting right where you're at, and I'm right here, and he's yelling at my ass, trying to tell me something.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't hear a word he was saying.
Yeah.
And that moment was the first, oh,
yeah,
this is different.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're absolutely right. I guess as your career potentially looks different next year, what do you think the impact will be of having 2 new coordinators in Detroit, if that is?
Yeah, I mean, I think Detroit will be fine either way. Coach Campbell is a leader of men.
Yeah.
Smart as all get out, football wise too. Like that's he plays off the I'm just a, South Texas, no. He's very bright. He's got some off the wall ideas. He may be a little aggressive, but unapologetically, he is who he is. Johnny Moe, who we know, he was there 2 years ago, integral part of the passing game then. Again, smart. He's one of those guys who doesn't leave. He is a true grinder, true football, Sean Payton, Parcells tree, grinder.
Yeah.
And so I think knowing that going in, you feel good about just knowing who you're getting, and Shep, another guy who, I played with that quickly has risen, understands the how, the whys of everything. And I think just having that opportunity to continue that, that rise, he'll have really good coaches around him still. So I think they'll be fine, but
yeah,
at the end of the day, Coach Campbell's the nail.
Yeah.
to kind of hold everything together, hold all these pieces that are woven together. But, he's the final.
He seems to be.
Yeah.
He seems to be very, very, very impressive as far as it looks like he builds, relationships.
Absolutely.
with
Yeah.
y'all. And
He understands what makes guys tick, and he's not going to blow smoke up your ass.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because I just don't do well with that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there's been some pretty cool, I think, viral social media moments between you and him, and it seems like he is a guy who actually cares about y'all, and it looks from where I'm at, like it looks like that is going on in the field, and it is having a huge impact.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think like he can look at a guy at a room and know when to push, know when to pull off, and take 2 minutes before practice, like and just learn something about you. It could be something off the wall, but you're out there every day, and he's talking to everyone, but kind of building a relationship, understanding the it's a lot easier to get someone to do what you want for them when they like you.
Yes.
So I think he does a really good job of just making sure that he understands guys. And you don't necessarily have to like each other, I think is an interesting part, because I don't know anyone that doesn't like Coach Campbell, but the respect thing is it's immediate because he understands you.
Yeah.
Right. And so whether you like your role, don't like your role, I respect you because you're going to shoot me straight, you understand me, and we can build upon our relationship from there.
Yeah, no, that's important. That's huge, and a guy like him was all on board, I would imagine, for you receiving or scoring a touchdown this year, and so I'm sure he had a big hand in that. Talk about that, man. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Cool.
That's another one of those we put in plays all week, situationally, and get to red zone day, and I don't know. Typically in a week, there's probably 3 or 4 routes for me.
Okay.
Just based on various parts of the field. It could be just slant flat. It could be a 6 or 7 man protection. I'm just in the whole time. Maybe I release late. It could be the all cross, or we've got your kind of same cast of characters. But are you running at the plus 40 or the minus 5 or the all day was right there on the 11 or 9 yard. It was 9 to the 11 on that one. Ran it in practice on Thursday. I think it was Thursday. Maybe it's Thursday or Friday, whatever.
Yeah.
Screwed the timing up. It's supposed to be a solid 2 count, and I just went 1, 2.
Yeah.
Ben goes nuts.
Yeah. Sure.
Not in a good way.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm like, all right, work through it, get a couple reps of it after practice with, our assistant O-line coach. He's awesome. Helps a lot with that stuff. And typically if you screw something up in practice, it's out. It's gone.
Right?
Yeah. I'm like, he's not going to call it. Get to the 9 yard line, 13 jumbo. I'm like, really? Okay.
So you screwed it up in practice
before screwed it up. I think we hit it in a walkthrough later. Yeah. If you screw something up, especially in the red zone, forget about
not doing it.
It's done. Yeah.
Wow.
But and get that. And it was all right. Go out there, 1,001, 1,002, extra pause, rip him and look back, see the ball coming, floating down. And I'm like, oh shit.
Here we go.
Catch the ball. And I'm expecting to get, a trap corner just sawing me in half.
Yeah. You had room to run.
I had room. That was, catch, and I'm looking and I don't see the guy right there taking my knees out. So I keep looking up and everyone's back's to me.
Yeah.
All covering the athletic guys.
Sure.
And finally see a guy. I start trying to think am I fast enough to beat him to the pylon? No, I'm just going to go ahead and get north and let physics take over.
Yes.
Just get north and protect the ball. Try to get in there. Got in and just I don't know. I kind of blacked out. I looked up. It was the loudest thing. It was and then just all the guys are right there. And
that's so awesome.
Yeah. And then it felt like a minute later I was on field goal and got absolutely smoked. So
next play.
That'll keep you nice and humble. Hello.
That's the worst. Field goal protection is very unfortunate to be on.
Yeah. When it's hard because I cannot for the life of me play tackle on field goal. I just struggle with it. I don't know why. It shouldn't be that hard. Step back, lift and rise with power. I really struggle with it.
Yeah.
But end, which is arguably the worst position on the field in any point in the game, it's
that's your spot.
That's my spot. I'm comfortable at it. I'm decent at it. I don't say you're ever good at it because there's being good at it is dying a slow death.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
it's your head, not it's your butt hitting first, not your head. Like
Yeah.
but like that's unfortunately my like comfort spot on field goal. So
I love it.
let's go to end, jab.
Score the TD, go out there and get smoked.
It's absolutely and everyone's pissed. And I think that one I hit with my head first.
Sure.
I got flipped, feet off the ground.
Yeah.
It's always great when you're playing outside and you start looking at the moon.
God bless. That hurts to even think about.
Yeah.
So, one of the things you talked about earlier before we got on here was the PA.
Mhm.
You're going to Hawaii.
Yeah.
For this tomorrow. Right?
Yeah.
So outside of going to Hawaii, I guess for what are you doing there?
So I was voted this year as our voting rep.
Okay.
So we go down there and we talk about all the union matters. So everything from our internal budgets, our internal goals, the path moving forward to, renegotiating the CBA, right? Because everyone in the world knows the owners won 18 games.
Yeah.
So I think on this trip, a big part of this is going to be like, all right, are we willing to do 18 games? And if so, then what?
Yeah.
Right? Because it's not going to be just a straight, like, I don't know. The last CBA had some good, some bad, but there were some asks that weren't reasonable, and it just kind of COVID, everything else, it just kind of killed you. So I don't know. It wasn't great, but
what would it take to get to 18 games? Like, what's something that like you guys would need on the table for that to happen?
I think percentage points on the revenue split.
Uh-huh.
I think that's, and I don't think it's just one. I want to say we're at 47%, somewhere in there. Like, I think that number climbs.
Yeah.
I also think there's something with gambling, possibly. Like, I don't want to speak out of my ass here.
Sure. Yeah.
But I think it would be probably a non-starter without revenue percentage starting. But
that's interesting. Yeah.
we'll see what.
And that all happens. This is like a week-long meeting kind of thing?
Yeah, it's a week-long. Really, it's 4 days. Everyone comes out to Maui, and
nice.
It's cool because you get to know people outside of football from other teams, right? So 2 years ago, I was a P squad guy actually who got elected as an alternate. So I was the first alternate as a practice squad player, which is, I don't know if that had been done before. That was pretty cool.
Deal,
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Go down there and I meet a bunch of guys sitting there with Milata, another big dude, great, unbelievable guy. But we're playing pool volleyball. Me, him, and I forget, and there's like their random family on a vacation. Like,
sure, you just
what?
Oh wow. You win?
I want to say we did.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah, but yeah, no, well, I mean, like Lena was there, Ryan Jensen. So like it's like all these guys that you watch on tape, but you get to meet them and in that setting, and like get to just be around them. Like that's really cool deal. And I think as players, we all have so much in common that like you get along with most everyone.
Yeah.
All the time,
That, and not to get off topic, I guess, but is that something like, when you look at the other team as like, I know we talked about taking a man's will on the 1 yard line and that part of it, but there's mutual respect there.
Absolutely.
They're going through the same things, and
yeah,
it is a bit, it's work. It's not like the more emotional side of maybe college where you truly feel like you really don't like that person, across line of scrimmage. Is it different there?
Yeah, I think it is. Like very rarely, I think, are there people that you truly dislike across from you.
Yeah.
Like it happens. Don't get me wrong. Like there's a couple people that I would not piss on if they were on fire. All right. But at the same time, like I think we all want to go out there, play hard, have a clean game. Everyone gets out healthy, go home to our families.
Yeah.
Like I think by and large, like that's the goal, and sometimes things get heated, things get out of hand, but like at the end of the day, like I think most guys would feel the same way. Like I just hope that, we all go out, do our thing. I hope I'm better than you.
Sure.
But I hope we just make it out and go home.
And coming back to that, and that's how it should be. And I imagine that's most players feel the same exact way. Is that the 18 games, the length of the season, the impact that has on your health, family, all of it? I mean,
yeah, I don't know. Look, a guy in my role, probably less of a deal than it is for, Panay or,
Sure.
one guy, some of those guys like that are, you're playing an extra game and they're going to say, oh, it's a preseason game and you're taking off, so the season doesn't get any longer. That's flawed math. I'll get back to remind me to get back to that. But, you're in your, even rookies call it, right? Rookie starting O lineman from wherever. Goes all the way through combine training, everything else, yada, yada. Plays 18 games at the NFL level. Then they make the playoffs. Like imagine, like in college, you play 12 games with 2 byes. Or you're going to 18, 1 bye plus playoffs. You could end up playing 18, 20, 24 games in a year.
A lot of football. It's a lot of football. It's a lot of field goal block, a lot of field goal protections.
Yeah, it's a lot of bull rushes. It's a lot of it's just a lot. So we'll see what happens. But 17's a lot too. Like, let's not get that twisted.
Sure.
Like, I don't know. So part of you is like, oh, it's just one more. The schedule evens out, whatever. But then part of you is like, for what? It's already a long ass season.
Yeah.
And then they want to play and freaking everywhere. Like,
yeah. So there's a little bit of travel.
Like, that's a joke.
Yeah.
Like, we want to go play and name X country, throw dart at map. Like, what? Like, do they not understand the logistics of this, right?
Yeah.
So, like, okay, we have, a travel party of 200-ish people, right? 50 of those are going to be putting their body through the most, physically demanding thing you can do. But yeah, we're gonna stuff you on a plane for 18 hours, screw up your body clock, take you to this country that the food's all fucked up anyway. Oh yeah, you're gonna play now, and you're gonna fly back, lose your bye week because just the logistics of it, and like it's just like I get it, the growing market, the international markets, but like we want to talk about health and safety. Let's have real conversations about that.
Is there any downtime like to get your body clock back on, or do you just like you're rolling like on those flights, those trips?
It's just hard. I've only played internationally once. I hated it, but I think I don't know. It's scary. Like, you see some of those teams, they go out, and then they really struggle for a month or so. Like, look at Philly. I think Green Bay struggled. I think both those teams struggled a little bit early. Was that because of travel? I don't know. Was that schematics? You don't know, but I don't know. I think you gotta, right. And we don't fit in these planes, right? So you're in the pod, the magic pod that everyone speaks about. My wife, super excited to be in the pod for 10.5 hours tomorrow. Not so much.
Different ball game.
Like, I don't fit. Like, you don't fit in them, and it's hard to explain to people that haven't seen, like, the size of 6'5" to 6'10", 315 to 360. Like, it's a large human.
Yes, it is.
Things just aren't made for us. So, like, if the league said, yeah, you know what, we're going to do this, but we're going to take 2 planes, everyone's going to get a queen size bed, call it. I think that changes the math a little bit, but like body clock's still messed up. But like, if guys can't fit, and just the whole, like, it's just for what?
It was the game you played in was a sold out game type situation. I mean, how's the atmosphere?
Yeah, the atmosphere is cool, but like typically they don't understand the game.
Yeah.
And so like you've got every jersey you can think of in the stands. Like it looks like the NFL Pro Shop. Like, you're like, and then they're like kicking a field goal, they get absolutely lit over a field goal.
Really?
Oh,
sure. Yeah, a little soccer in there.
But yeah, it's just like, it's weird because like it'll be quiet on like a third down, and then it'll just like pop off on a random like.
That's awesome.
So it's fun, it's cool, but from a playing aspect, it's tough.
Yeah.
Not everyone's in a pod. Like, it's just
I can imagine. I would imagine that'd be extremely difficult.
I don't know. Yeah, just
you're already going through something very, very intense.
Yeah. I mean, even like you're playing a West Coast game, like that's a 4-hour flight. Not fun, but like it's 4 hours. You get back, you land at essentially daybreak the next day. So like that screws up your body clock too. Let's not get that. Like that San Fran game, vicious.
No. Yeah, I'd imagine.
Didn't mean anything, and you're like, I mean, I guess every game means something, but statistics wise didn't mean anything. But you're driving home, the sun's coming up, stuck in traffic. From everyone going to work. Yeah,
those are stories that people don't really hear about.
No. Yeah, it's just the oh, and by the way, you've got a lift at noon.
Yes. Yes.
to get your body clock back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then you fall asleep at like 6 p.m. and just sleep straight through and
Try and get back in sync.
till those kids wake you up.
Yeah, it's too, man. You got the youngins running around.
Yeah.
So the son, daughter?
Miller, baby girl.
Miller, baby girl.
Mm-hmm.
She's fresh.
Yeah, she was born the day after the touchdown.
Oh, really? Wow,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, so like some people in
That's a
Detroit
heck of a
will
weekend.
call her the touchdown baby.
She's
Like,
a touchdown baby.
She's a touchdown baby. I'm like, all right, yeah.
Wow.
Yep, Miller Kate. She's awesome. She's a
Mm-hmm.
little chunk. She's just
Yeah.
happy and squawks. They're like little rocks right now.
And so you got her and the two boys.
Her and the fellas. So
How are they doing?
they're great. They just tear it up back here, tear each other up, and
Yeah. They gonna have your size?
we'll see. I don't know. They're so active. They go. Like they're tall, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't understand the like age for the schools and whatnot because they're in a 3s class, but they should be or they're in a 4s class. They should be in a 3s class, something like that. Like I'm like, or like 3s with 2. Like
Sounds like mom.
or they're
is
in
on top of
4s.
it.
They're in 4s, but they could be in, or they should be in 3s. So hold them back to do they're like bigger than all their classmates right now for the most part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just don't want them to have to do 8th grade twice like I did because that sucked.
You did twice?
I did 8th grade twice.
Well, why? Just
I would have graduated high school at 17.
so they held you.
I started that young, yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it was the right decision, but
Wow, what an intense, and especially in 8th grade at that age.
yeah, middle school's a tough place to
It
do
is.
3 times.
Man, no wonder.
Yeah.
Gosh, that'll make you a good football player. You want to hit somebody.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, that was weird too, because like I'd always played up,
Mhm.
right? So when I was in 2nd grade, I was playing with, the 4th, 5th grade, all the way up through. So I played the 4th, 5th grade and 2nd grade and 3rd grade. And then in 4th grade, I was playing the like 6th, 7th.
Mm-hmm.
And then 8th grade went to like middle school ball with where I was playing at. So, I'm playing sometimes kids 4 years older than me.
Sure.
And that was just what I knew.
Mhm.
Right. And so I get to 7th grade. Now that team is no longer like playing. So we're like trying to find different spots to, play Pee Wee. So, I hop with my age group, Arvada team, and just wasn't
That's
the right.
wild.
Yeah. The kids, like good kids, good coaches, good people, but like it's hard to join a team that's been together for, 6 years and very little turnover. Like
That's true.
Like these guys have been together for 6 years.
Yeah. Make it work.
And you're goofy and everything else,
Uh-huh.
and you're just like, so you play for that team, and then they all go to high school, and then you're looking for another team, and it's just kind of that same like
That's
spin
interesting.
for a few years, and then finally got to high school. And was
They
like,
can help you.
okay, it didn't hurt me.
Mhm.
I think I had really good youth coaching, and to everyone out there, youth coaching is so important. I think like every time I get on Instagram and I see some dumb shit, it infuriates me because like look at like these rivals camps.
Yeah.
Okay. Why are we doing underwear one-on-ones? Like there is nothing you're doing in a one-on-one without pads that's worth a damn. And then now we're saying like this kid can or can't play football based off of one-on-one, which is a defensive oriented drill to start with. And we're in underwear. Okay, so now you have nothing to grab. Oh, but they're still gonna like bull rush you and everything else. Like it's the dumbest thing. Rivals,
He's coming for you.
I will come for you because that is the dumbest shit in the world. Like that is.
Man, it is. It's such a me being in high school for the last several years. There's so many of the travel ball stuff. The camps like
travel
that.
football. Like what?
It's so the monetization of youth sports is just absurd.
Yeah, and I get it. Look, everyone's trying to make a buck.
Yeah,
I get it. But like,
two, your parents want the best for your kid, and so they
yeah,
an opportunity to spend money on something, and the kid wants to do it, travel.
Yeah,
and so it's definitely
like the 7-on-7 I've gotten more on board with.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can learn a lot of football from that.
Mm-hmm.
But the O-line, D-line, one-on-one camps, like I have many choice words, none of which are good or should be. I guess on Twitter they'd be fine, or X, but on YouTube probably get
like it's censored,
shadow banned.
Yeah, we should edit a little bit. That's interesting. You're right. Like we said earlier, football's changed.
Yeah,
it's just changed.
It's the nature of the beast.
Nature of the
I think.
beast. It'll be exciting to see your boys when it's time for them to start padding up.
Yeah, they don't even need to pad up right now. They just go.
They don't need the pads.
No, they don't. They just tackle me, tackle them.
Yeah.
The hard part's like getting them to get up, right? Because now they're tackled each other. Now they just want to wrestle, and then it turns into a headbutt and a bite and a fight and just like
It's the whole thing.
like yeah, just get up now.
Is having threes gonna be different?
Very, yeah. I don't know. With two, it's kind of like easy, I guess.
Mhm.
Like the twins they're not easy. Like they're not easy. Let's get that straight. But they also like I know what I'm gonna get with them. Like I know when they're having a bad day, they're having a bad day, and we're just gonna have to take it.
Yeah.
But if they're having a day where they're listening and a lot of fun, like we got to do a lot of fun stuff, and like there's so much fun stuff to do down here. Like we'll go to Alligator Alley, which is a great spot. I like being outside, so we'll do that. We'll hit the zoo. We'll go on the boat. We'll go to the beach. We'll do whatever.
Yeah.
But then you have that day where like you're trying to do fun stuff, and you can't because you're just like they're gonna kill me or I'm gonna kill them.
Sure.
Like I'm about to lose it, right? And so if you got two people, like it's easy to like, hey, I need a break. Tag me out. I'm gonna go sit down for 5 minutes, have a cup of water,
Yes.
move along. When you've got the two, she's with one, or vice versa, and everyone's having a bad day, rather you just trade. Like, all right, which crying do you want to hear? Like newborn from being hungry or whatever, or toddler who we tried to be cool, fun parents, have a donut for breakfast yesterday.
Yeah.
And then took him to the beach, and it was it was a disaster. Got a cute picture out of it, but man, the rest of that trip.
Bless. Do they come to the games at all? Or?
Yeah, they go to the 1 o'clocks and like the day games.
Yeah.
The boys will go too. They'll come down on the field before, and then they've got in Detroit. They've got like a daycare set up.
Mhm.
So you can go and drop your kid
cool.
off. Yeah. And so like sometimes Matt, they'll stay for a quarter, a half, or they'll go to daycare for the first half, come back down,
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. And Sam will sit down and watch a game.
Mm-hmm.
Like he'll watch film with me. He's so interested in everything.
Wow.
And Jones very he's interested, but he's just like Jonesy will just like nuzzle in and go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
But Sam's like trying to and so it's cool having like two very different kids. But like Jonesy will be the first one, like football's on TV. Dad, are you playing right there? And it's like games where you are and you're like, yes, locks in.
Yeah.
No, he's gone. I'm like, I appreciate that.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
That's really cool to see. And yeah, like they're getting close to the point of I think like being able to remember this.
Mm-hmm.
Like so I think that would be cool to, keep playing to the point that they like remember being around. So
is that longevity of your career? Like what's your 5-year plan? Do you have one?
I wouldn't say after I'm done playing, whenever that is. I don't know. Every year I drive home from wherever I'm at. So from Detroit to Orange Beach, it's 15 hours roughly.
Mm-hmm.
During that drive, I'm like, all right, decompress, make the phone calls, then I really have to sit back and think do I love football still? Or do I love what comes from it? Right? Like it's hard to I don't know what I'd be doing if I wasn't playing football.
Yeah.
But live a great life, have a great family, all the things that I could ever want
mm-hmm.
have come from, from football, at least part of. Do I love the game still? And if the answer is yes and still want to play, then we play. And yeah, this year I was driving back and I knew pretty quick. I was
yeah.
I still got more than think. So give it everything we got this year. Hopefully things pan out, play well, and we'll reevaluate next year. So that's kind of my initial plan. But then, after I'm done playing, I'll go into coaching, probably at the NFL level.
Awesome. Yeah.
I think that I don't know if I have what it takes to work in a environment with some of these kids now, as we say, some of these children now, and like everywhere, you got some good ones, you got some bad ones, but I think by the time they get to the NFL, you've weeded out a lot of the
I'm sure
a lot of the chaff from the wheat. I think I don't know.
No. That's exciting, man.
Patience wise, I know I don't have the
It's tough. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
It's nice to NFL level you're able to focus and you see that with college coaches right now because now it's not like it's not coaching X's and O's, and it's not skiing. I mean, it is all those things, but there's so many more layers on top of it now that, I mean, if you're a head football coach in college, are you an X's and O's guy? Are you a recruiter? Are you managing money now? I mean, more than anything.
Well, and I think the issue is, as a recruiter, is that position is kind of, I think that's killing a lot of coaches.
Yeah.
Right? Your traditional, if recruiting is your trait,
what good is it anymore?
Things are tough. Yeah. Right. You better be able to recruit to boosters instead of moms. Like it's tough.
It's different.
Yeah. So
it's different. But man, thanks for coming on the podcast. It's been fun. It's been great.
Yeah, it was good catching up. And
hopefully
you're enjoying your trip down to the Gulf.
Yeah. We're staying away from the Floribama. I think we're just gonna enjoy the beach the rest of the week, and
no doubt.
That's a little warmer weather.
Yeah. Hopefully it stays sunny. It's supposed to rain both 2 days so far. Got a sprinkle.
Yep, that's it.
But had sunshine. So.
Yesterday was beautiful.
Yeah.
Hopefully tomorrow's nice.
No doubt.
Today was good. The cloud coverage was nice. Relax a little bit. I think we both just sleep in today. It's okay.
Yeah. No sleeping in for me. But
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, I got kids. Yeah. Door opened at, I don't know. I got about not enough sleep.
Yep.
Sam walks in. Dad,
game on.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
And the boys love picking out my shirt right now. They pick out the shirt. And it's a race to my closet. Grab a shirt, and next thing you know, there's like 4 shirts in the bed. Just trying to get my contacts in. So that's get up. Why you don't have no shirt on? Why? So that's my first 10 minutes every day.
Sure. Hey, there are worse ways to wake up.
Oh, it's beautiful. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So
awesome. Well, man, have fun on your trip.
Thank you.
It's great to see you.
Yeah, you as well.
We'll do this again sometime.
Absolutely.
That's it. We'll cut it.